I'm Sensei Alex Kakuyo, North American contributor for Buddhist Global. Thanks for joining me for this episode of The Ordinary Buddhist. The title of today's Dharma talk is Blowing Winds. Before we get into that, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified when I post talks in the future. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, that'd be great too. When I first started building structures here on the homestead, rabbit hutches, greenhouses, pergolas, etc., one phrase kept coming up: wind shear. Now, wind shear very simply refers to the speed and direction of the wind. If you've ever been walking down the sidewalk and you had to lean into the wind because it was blowing against you and it was hard to move forward, then you've experienced wind shear before. Similarly, if you've ever been running a race or riding a bicycle and the wind was pushing at your back so that it felt like you barely had to do anything in order to keep moving forward, once again, you've experienced wind shear. So it can be either positive or negative depending on the situation. However, generally when you're building things, wind shear can be a problem. If you don't build the structure correctly to stand against the wind, it'll fall over. So I spend a lot of time trying to figure out exactly how I will guard my structures against the hard, fierce winds that blow in our area. Sometimes the remedy is to place either OSB or plywood on the outside of the structure. This is called sheathing, in order to give it more rigidity so it doesn't move side to side. Other times, I add bracing into the frame of the wood structure, once again to keep it from moving side to side. There are many ways to do it, but the important thing is we must remember to guard against wind shear if we want our structures to stand. 2,600 years ago, Buddha warned us about another wind that we must be aware of, a spiritual wind known as suffering. Now, as this wind blows, if we're not careful, it can knock us over, just like a strong wind can knock over a garden shed. Now, we can waste time bellyaching about how the wind shouldn't blow, but the fact is, it does. The winds of suffering are as natural a part of life as the winds of the weather. And we must structure our lives, our spiritual, mental, emotional structures in such a way that we can stand against them. This is why the Buddhist path is so important and so valuable to our daily lives. When we live by the Four Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path, when we chant and do prostration, study the sutras, and practice meditation, what we are doing is giving ourselves the necessary spiritual bracing to stand against the wind of suffering. The wind may blow, but as long as we practice, it will never knock us over. Amitabha.